the energy in the CASA is just so relaxed. There are people from everywhere else in the world that come there. Of course, I am a stone dealer, and I go down to get crystals. The first year, I brought this guy back. He's about 50 pounds. You should have seen it in the suitcase. It's amazing. The next year, I go back, and I was able to go into the warehouse, and I picked crystals. This one was my special one. Underneath my chair in the CASA, when I would go into current, I would meditate with it. As you can see, it is a perfect crystal. The entities there have given me permission to bring crystals back, and I have been selling them on eBay. If you go under Crystal Master, eBay, or look under CASA Quartz, you can get them. This is another crystal I brought back. The clarity is phenomenal. It is so relaxed when you go to the CASA in Brazil. It's about 100 miles outside of Brasilia. The weather was perfect. The food is phenomenal. We stay at the Posada Don Ingrid, which Ricardo is one of the people there that has quite a bit of influence at the CASA. It's phenomenal. When I went into current, and current's a place where people meditate, and there are like 3 stages. There's the entities current, and there is the mediums current. The entities current is the first current that you go into. Right there, I would sit down and look up, and when I would look up, I would see this picture. This is the Virgin Mary, and look at the eyes. The eyes, I'd stare into the eyes, and then you have to close your eyes while you meditate. And I go places. It's absolutely phenomenal. This last year that I went there to get crystals. And I was there the first couple of days. I didn't want to go to ask for surgery. And on Friday morning of the first week, John of God is there Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The sessions are 8 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's free. Everything is free. When you go through and they ask you to take herbs, you have to pay for the herbs. They're like $20, but it's free. When I went this year, I had an experience. Instead of working on my inner child, I had asked the entities to open my heart to self-love. And it came to me that the anger that I've had in the past was not all mine. The rage was not all mine. I had been carrying it on my person for millenniums, you know, the karmic thing, carrying it from one life to the next. And I asked the entities in current to alleviate all the negative energy I had been carrying around that is not mine. And in the meditation I did, I could feel that like I was a tree and leaves were just falling off into the earth. And they'd hit the earth and then they'd dissipate and disappear. When I asked the entities to open my heart to self-love, one of them came to me and stood in front of me and put his hand right in my navel and started to pull out. It was like black spaghetti, and it was wheeling itself on the floor. It got up about this high and then just vanished and dissipated. I recommend going to seeing John of God. It's absolutely amazing. There are people from everywhere else in the world that are there. You'll notice one thing, this triangle. You find a larger one in the CASA, and then people will come up and they will put their head in the middle of it with their arms like this and say a prayer. Or they'll put people's pictures in it that they want healed. You don't have to be there to be healed. You can send a picture and someone will bring it and ask the questions that you need to have the answers, and you'll get the answer. The first time you go for surgery, you have 4 things that you have to do. You can't drink alcohol for 40 days after surgery. No sex for 40 days. no pork, and no pepper. Something about the entities working on your body, and they work on you all the time. The neat thing about this last trip, I was worried about bringing crystals back to the United States because the year before I had a problem. When I went before John of God, I asked if I could bring the stones back and that I be protected, or they be protected, to get through customs, etc. When I flew back, I felt that 3 of the entities came with me. 1 was in the plane, the other 2 were outside. And when I went through the borders, no problem. I had asked. This goes along with the idea in this universe. You've got to ask. If you want something, ask it. No one else has to hear you except the universe itself. Your answers will be given to you. I want to thank you for coming. One of the other things I wanted to mention is that we're going to be doing programs on Skype where you can call in and you can have a one-on-one session with me and we can work out what stones you need for your healing. This will be coming up in the future. Don't forget the email rockclub@crystalmaster.com. You'll find a lot of newsletters, and then we tie it into our YouTube presentations. I want to thank you again for listening, and you have a wonderful and marvelous day.